Welcome to Spaghetti Launchers, the world-building podcast where we throw spaghetti at the wall and it is up to you what sticks. I'm Kyle.
I'm Ethan. Kyle, your payment is past due.
What?
Your payment is past due.
Who do I owe money to?
Me, motherfucker. Because we're talking about banks. Anyway, that was awful. I hated that. I'm sorry I had to subject y'all to that.
I mean,
the oldest
you chose to do that.
Yeah, I did.
I want you to sit in your shame.
No, I do that all day, every day. I'm good, man. Banks are, yeah, it's great. Banks are cool. They hold lots, they keep money and lots of other things safe, and they give it out to other people too. Gringotts is super anti-Semitic. Fuck J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, I mean, Gringotts is fucked up.
Super anti-Semitic.
It's super fucked up. It is cool when they go on like the little rail, like a roller coaster railway car or whatever, like mining shaft thing.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, that was
like,
all right.
That's kind of fun. But yeah, there was the Iron Bank of Bravos.
Yeah, there's the Iron Bank of Bravos. That's really cool. That's also one of those. It has a good vibe. That has a vibe similar. When we were prepping for this episode, Kyle, you were talking about Swiss banks being borderline, entities of neutrality that are borderline their own nations. Like the Iron Bank of Bravos really gets at that.
Yeah, and with neutrality in these cases, especially with banks, often becomes morally void.
Yeah.
It's not that they're necessarily. I mean, they're immoral. No, they're amoral.
They're amoral.
They're amoral. Yeah.
They're not explicitly immoral.
They're just where's the money?
Right.
We'll follow that. That's good enough. And Swiss banks, great example of that.
Yeah. You don't need to repo men exist.
Yeah.
In the real world they're going to get theirs.
Yeah, I think generally like real world banks are not that interesting in the modern day because they're just financial institutions who are just people printing out money and, or like people just investing in made up numbers basically.
Correct.
And giving out loans and all that. But I think in fiction, banks can be far more interesting because you can empower them in ways that feel, that are ways you wouldn't want to empower them in our world. But you can do it in this context because it doesn't really matter.
I really liked I forget what it's called. I really liked the bank in Baldur's Gate 3 in the third act that you had to infiltrate.
Yeah, I just was there. I'm finishing Act 3 right now.
Oh, nice.
What is it called?
I don't know, but they had
the counting house.
The counting house, that's right. But they also had the paladins. They had an entire group of paladins designed to protect their money that were dressed all in gold, and I think they were called the cash guards.
Yeah, or something like that, yeah.
I was like,
coin guards,
Coin guards, something like that. Utter fantasy nonsense, but
it works. Well, and
super evocative.
And they had cool, because often you go to a bank, you go down to the vault and you need multiple layers of security, and then they added in extra spells. Like if you wanted to access the vaults and you aren't a key holder for that vault, if you try to approach it, you'll be teleported back.
Did you not figure out how to turn those off by the buttons on the walls?
I just fly around them.
Oh, that too, but there are buttons on the walls that you can just shoot an arrow at.
Well, I haven't done that, but I haven't needed to.
Yeah.
But
because I can fly, motherfucker.
Yeah, I just flew around it. But yeah, you could do that too. But I guess what I was getting at is that having magical mechanisms to keep your vault safe.
That's always fun. I love anything that it requires blood identification or something like that. Those are always fun.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get into some teases of our ideas. What kind of bank are you coming to pitch today, Ethan?
A new one.
Okay. Those are your words?
Yeah, it's a new type of bank.
Okay.
What about you?
Swiss devils showing up.
Awesome.
I'll let you go first.
I'm gonna start this.
We'll leave the confusion of mine.
Kill this and just start us off.
Do your new one.
So there are commercial banks that are there to facilitate loans and lending of funds and resources to individuals. There are merchant banks that are there to facilitate loans and the lending of funds and the taking of funds for merchants and other independent corporate institutions. We're talking about fantasy worlds. I wanted something new. Most protagonists ends up being adventures of some sort. And so I wanted there to be an adventurer bank.
Please tell me, what is it? The adventurer bank?
A guy that talks like that.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the bank.
Welcome to the Bank of Adventures.
What can I get you?
This is, I actually was thinking about this for a sci-fi world.
Okay.
More than a fantasy world, but it's very applicable to both.
What would you like at the Adventure Bank?
Okay, God.
Focus. You can do this.
I can't do it, man.
I believe in you, man. I believe in you.
It's an institution that gives out money. In sci-fi world, it's not even really an adventure bank. It's probably a bounty hunter bank, like there would be in Star Wars. But this is a bank that exclusively provides loans and funding for missions to bounty hunters in return for obviously a small portion of their earnings. That's how they lend it out. However, what's important here is
They
that
they could still be adventurers. You don't need to make them bounty
no,
hunters.
I know, but I was thinking about it from the sci-fi
No,
perspective.
but if it's sci-fi, people still go on adventures.
I know, but Star
Problem
Wars, bounty
solvers.
hunters, whatever.
Oh, you're going Star Wars world.
Yes, whatever. I'm reading the novelization of Revenge of the Sith right now. It's really good. I recommend a lot of people read it. Yep. Don't care. I recommend a lot of people read it. But yeah, that's where I was thinking bounty hunters.
Yeah.
What's important about this though is that it operates in the same exact way that other financial institutions do. You know, there's credit, there's loans, there's savings. You can do all of these things, right? The part that I thought would be cool is that you can also get access to loot from the bank, that you can loan out. You can request a loan in the form of gear, armor, weapons, special resources, information, like the location of different targets or passcodes to different ships or something like that. Ships would be another thing you could do, but also what you could have at this bank would be you could put your services as an adventurer or a mercenary or a bounty hunter up as collateral. So if you needed to take out a loan, let's say you needed a gun for an assassination, right? You know, very Thane Krios style. Thane Krios could say, I am a well-known, well-qualified assassin. I need a gun for this mission. The interest that I will pay on the loan of this gun over time will be hours of service that I can then be assigned to support other groups or other mercenaries asking for help.
Okay. Is there more?
No, that's it. I have ceased talking. You seem to be processing.
I'm processing, yeah. I think it's great. I think it's really interesting and very cool. And I think specifically it's this weird dynamic of loans and equipment, loot, all the
services,
that kind of side of things. I think is really fun.
Yeah. Like I said, a new kind. And
I don't want to get lost in the like bank terminal or let's talk about the collateral and the loans and all that.
I suck at that.
But I think that is just interesting. Like the point that, I'm going to, in fantasy terms, if I'm going to get a loan on a holy adventure, and if I lose it, the collateral is I will complete missions for the bank for, I'll do until they decide it's done, and that might be a year.
Right.
Because this is a huge
and it
loan.
would all be negotiated up front.
Yeah. Like the terms are set, but then like the collateral is I will keep servicing like your clients, whatever you need until I pay back whatever it is that I have defaulted on, which in this case would be you're defaulting on the equipment is gone. And the loot is gone, whatever it is.
Right. And just like a normal bank that lends your money out to other people, if I store my Holy Avenger or my lightsaber there, then there's a chance that it could get loaned out to somebody else while they're storing it because it's counted as an asset on their balance sheet, right?
I think a point to dig into here is would services feels like a harder like it would be separate. So for instance, like hiring mercenaries is a lot of what the services would be. So is it instead like would you go to the bank and say, I'm doing a job and I need your best pilot and I need a guy who's, a real bruiser
and a ship.
Then like they'd be like, no, because that's too many things. If you want some good equipment, we can give you a loan on that.
Right.
and like where they want to work in durable assets and not services of people, because that's like a consulting firm.
Sure,
And
that's a good point.
you might want to go to like a mercenary group for that.
So I had included the services in there very explicitly to make it accessible to low level players in a game setting, so that they would have a way of accessing the bank and accessing some of the materials in early stages of the game. That was the only reason why, to say that we could offer up our services as collateral for a loan.
I think your services as collateral should always be allowed, but I mean, you wouldn't go to the bank. You couldn't go to the bank and say, I need services. The bank will,
I see what you're saying.
The bank will like pick up a contract themselves so they can take the money.
Got it. Or you might get sent as like a repo.
Yes, that kind of thing.
Got it. I see what you're saying.
But not like, oh, I need to go get an assassin. I guess I'll go to the bank and get one. It's like, no, I go to the bank to get the gun that I need, because then it gets them, it keeps them from being morally or like it's like a liability issue. They don't really know what job is being done. They just know what equipment people wanted and what cash people needed, and maybe they loan out things like vehicles, cars, ships, boats, whatever it is in this world. Like maybe they loan out that type of stuff. But I think it works better if they only work in material goods. You can only go there seeking material goods. You can offer up as collateral your services as an adventurer of some kind,
sure,
to pay them back, but they're getting cash on that back end, or you're going to acquire new loot and you have to bring it to them.
Right.
I don't know. You can play around with that if you want.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think there's a solid logic there.
Yeah.
It's more, honestly, I just liked that idea that you could go and request. It would be a cool game mechanic to say, a DM says to someone, hey, you're going to need help on this mission. Here's how you get an NPC.
Yes.
Or a convenient excuse for a new party or a new person joining a campaign midway through, saying like, oh yeah, I was assigned to you by the bank.
Because the bank is interested in your loan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
think that kind of works. I think my main concern is just being like keeping this differentiated from regular old mercenaries that you could just easily go to. Like if
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah. Like if you're a DM, you just push like, well, you meet a guy at a bar. But I think it is cool, like the idea that you have it's a great way to get a DM NPC or DMPC or whatever it is.
Or introduce a new character.
It's to just have them be like the loan officer at the bank who's just following them to make sure that like their investment's being used properly and like you are properly caring for that Holy Avenger.
Right.
I'm making sure. And then I will document this. And then if you lose it, I will be the witness that you've lost it, and the bank will come calling.
Right. And let's say everything goes well at the end. Okay, this character is great. Someone wants to take over. Yeah, you bring in a new person to start playing that character. Why? Because I just like you guys.
Yeah.
I just like hanging out with you.
I like hanging out with you too.
Yeah, thanks, man. But yeah, so that's the Bank of Bounty Hunters, the BB, the Bounty Hunter Bank. I don't know, whatever. We'll figure it out. But
or BOA, Bank of Adventures.
Bank of Adventures.
There's no other BOA bank.
No, none whatsoever. The Bank of Adventures.
Yeah, and it is flexible for any setting.
Super flexible.
I think it's really. We'll circle back on it at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
When we get to what's.
Yeah, I wanted a new type of bank. I wanted something new and interesting. Everything else when I was coming up with it was a lot of flavor and architecture type stuff. And then I came out, I was like, this is probably going to lead into yours. I'm like, a blood bank for vampires. I'm like, oh well, that already kind of exists. And
mine is a blood bank for vampires. The Red Cross.
Let's talk about it.
It's not. All right. So my Swiss devils be appearing everywhere. And I guess
not for nothing, BNP Paribas. Paribas does sound like a devil name.
Yeah, it's Paribas, but it's French.
Fucking goddamn.
Just like if you're gonna be in France, you should probably say it correctly.
Who's in France? I'm not.
We are.
I have such a fucking headache.
You had a migraine yesterday. Mm-hmm. All right, but so my description is kind of over the place because really. What I'm evoking is I want a bank that feels like it has that devilish quality, like Raphael in Baldur's Gate, just appearing.
Yeah.
At times where you're like, I don't really know why you, like, I don't really want you to be here, but you kind of know that I need something. That kind of vibe, just showing up and offering you terms, but not devil contracts.
Okay. That's important.
And then I also want a kind of a pretty neutral money seeking philosophy, very Swiss, just very neutral, and
immoral or amoral.
Amoral.
Okay.
At the core of this idea is that it's just one banker, and I'm just going to call him the banker for the purposes of this exploration. But I think naming him something more interesting is absolutely a great idea for a world that he's actually being deployed in.
Sure.
And it's, as far as this has like a real shadow broker vibe as well from Mass Effect. Just this guy who seems to know everything, who seems to be omnipresent and omniscient, and just is like collecting money from people around the world. Now, that in and of itself isn't enough for an idea here, because that's not particularly new. But I wanted to do where there
pretty cool though,
where there are brick and mortar locations for the bank. Let's go with that. For these banks where you can go and you go into the shop, and they're small. They're very small. No one works there. No one's there, but there is a ledger there, and it is a public and live scripted document showing all updates to all loans minus the amounts. So it shows you every single person who is in an active loan with this bank, with the banker, and whether it's paid, whether it's in default, whether they're on time, whether it's closed.
That feels like corporate information that would be kept very private.
The banker doesn't want it private. The banker doesn't care. The banker is happy to let the whole world knows. They don't know the amounts, but you can go here, and it's public information, but it's not like he's broadcasting. You just have to go into the bank itself. And some people, when it first started happening, it seemed like it was more of an oversight. He didn't realize people could just walk in and look at it, where it's like, this is his record keeping. But then over time, it's become this kind of open little thing that, I guess you could just walk into these locations and look, because what's going on. And here's where you can also play with it, is why would the banker want that to happen? And the banker's motivations become a bit more open-ended there. Maybe it isn't just about money. Maybe it's about control. Maybe it's about influence. I don't know. But he's always on time with the money. It's always good. It's always a good deal.
Maybe it's just chaos.
It's like he has good terms and good deals on all of them, like the lowest interest rates you could possibly get. So it's the most reliable way to get the money. But there's just this ever-present enigma around it, and that makes some people uncomfortable. And some people don't want it private. Want it private that they had a loan. They don't want it to be public.
Could you pay extra for it to be kept private?
That's a good question. I guess so. Why not?
Okay, I'm just curious.
Maybe the terms. Maybe it's expediency. If you promise to pay it back in a month or something, then he won't be public. I don't know. Play with it how you want. But I think it's adding in this new angle that is really out of the ordinary that I really want. I like the idea of a banker who just shows up, but then it just feels like you're making a devil. And I like the idea that, it's this mystery figure who seems to just kind of be powerful and connecting the dots, but then it's just a shadow broker. I say, okay, well then what if we add in this additional element that you can kind of go to him in some way by going into these stores.
So you've invented an ATM.
No, because you can't get a loan in there. You just go in and you look at the information.
I think you need to be able to get a loan from there.
Maybe. Yeah, sure. I think you go in and you can like put your name on the list and he'll come visit you.
Yeah, that's fine.
He'll appear to you.
I'll accept that as I'll accept that as a compromise.
Yeah, you put yourself on the waiting list and then he'll knock on your door soon.
Yeah,
because he'll appear politely, usually at your front door, knock on it, and then ask to come in and talk about terms. He's a traveling salesman.
Yeah.
But no one knows where he actually lives. No one knows where he actually comes from.
What he is.
Yeah. Because no one sees him like teleporting. No one sees him flying. No one really has a great grasp on what his deal is.
Maybe he's the spirit of greed.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm making shit up.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's a god. A god would make a lot of sense.
Maybe he's really fast.
Yeah. I like the idea that it is something extra.
Paranormal.
Yeah. Something
something that's like
Magic.
beyond natural, like almost like supernatural.
That was what I was trying to figure out. I used the word extra, and then I was like, I'm pinned in. What do I do? What's the word? And supernatural was what I was looking for. Extra guac. I don't
Dimensional.
Extraordinary. Yeah. That's kind of it.
I love it. I'm not for nothing. I know it is just a devil, and that's frustrating, but I do like the idea of a bank that shows up when you're in dire needs. It is mechanically, it's just a devil, but story-wise, just have it not be a devil. Just have it be a bank, and I think it's the same mechanics, but
it just says, well, it's not your soul. You just owe us money.
You just owe us money.
I mean, and like, so combining
maybe it can be Rumpelstiltskin like, where it's like, oh, you owe us we accept all sorts of deals, like your firstborn kid.
Oh, God, come on, Ethan. Poor taste.
What?
I don't know. I just wanted to confuse you.
Succeeded. Why?
It worked.
But I do like that. Just make it not be a devil, and that's fine.
I think you combine this with your idea, and because I like what you're saying. Is it just, what if it is just a bank that shows up when you need it, and isn't really like what I'm talking about? It's just a bank that has the ability to show up at, like right. A banker shows up right where you are and goes, "Oh, I see you're having a hard time with this boss fight here.
Right.
I can offer you a Holy Avenger if you like." It'll cost you
17%.
It'll cost you 50% of the loot that you get when you kill this boss, though.
Right.
And I'm gonna need the Holy Avenger back.
Yeah. Plus interest.
Well, the 50% is our cut. Or say I can gift you this Holy Avenger. Or they say we will give you this Holy Avenger. You can keep the Holy Avenger long term in exchange for what you're about to loot here.
You can lease the Holy Avenger
because we know what's in the loot. Like that's their thought, is like, we know that what's in this loot is worth more than the Holy Avenger, and we're not going to kill this fucking dragon. So you kill the dragon and we take the loot, and we don't tell you that. We just say we will collect the loot, but you get to keep the Holy Avenger.
Yeah.
And like that kind of thing could be great.
It could. If we're blending it, like for my idea, I like mine being brick and mortar.
Yeah.
That for some reason.
Well, in the version I was just saying, it's still the brick and mortar, but they have the ability to show up to you. Yeah, and I mean, this is just like a combo idea, is like a third idea between, like, where these two can merge and find the space where it is. You have a brick and mortar option that just, they happen to have a guy on staff who can show up as like a devil-ish person when the time comes and people need him. He just kind of has a sense of what adventurers are out in the world doing stuff, and if they're kind of potentially getting some trouble, and then he can just, like, I don't know, use magic and figure it out.
Yeah, I dig that.
Or use spies and figure it out. But yeah,
we love spies.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
No.
All right. Well, then let's move on.
I like his name being the banker.
Yeah. I've got a real, like, in my brain, the image of him is kind of vampire-y. It could be because you brought up the vampires, but I don't think that was the reason. I think it was already a vampire appearance in my head. Vampire-ish, not like not the teeth, but just kind of the vampire look.
English nobleman?
No, he's more like Romanian nobleman in my eyes.
Big furry hat.
Yeah, why are the English noblemen aren't the vampires? Dracula's not English.
No, but he dressed like one.
Well, don't we all?
Bela Lugosi dressed like one.
Yeah.
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 Secondary idea. Kyle, let us spare our listeners.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. All right. So
Yes,
let's moving
queen.
into our
Slay.
frozen lasagna. Quick little idea on top of all that.
Yeah. Old money bank. Quite literally, it's a bank run by a lich, and phylactery is a coin that is somewhere out there in circulation.
Oh my God, is phylacteries just coins?
Well,
It's just one coin.
well, you can have multiple phylacteries according to.
Yeah. Like, but
Deep
is
lore
it
and
just
stuff.
one phylactery, or is it like
I like
tons?
I like the idea originally. The original idea I had for it was that every account that you open has to have one additional coin. So it's like if you wanted to put in $100, you had to put, or 100 gold, you had to actually put in 101. There's always an additional coin in every account, and that coin is a phylactery. So that as long as the bank has customers, the lich has phylacteries.
Dope. That's really good. End of episode.
End of episode. What stuck for you, Kyle? That?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't actually have a good frozen lasagna, so I legit.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so we could actually just call it there. I think that is super cool. I think that's great popcorn world building, but I think it's also something you could actually use in a D&D game.
Yeah.
Like pretty easily.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of a lich that's not like inherently evil. Like
No.
he's just running a big bank. And if you were like, well, we got to kill this lich, we're hired to kill this lich, then okay, well, good luck. He runs the global financial system.
Right.
Like that's embedded power right there. And
There are a lot of people that would protect this lich out of their own self-interest.
also great villain for a game where the actual enemy, Brennan Lee Mulligan style, is capitalism.
Uh-huh.
And it is the adventurer's job to destroy the entire capitalist system and end this bank because they have to burn all of the money.
Yeah. I also like the idea of a person who wants to become a lich, not in the I'm an evil wizard, I must have knowledge and infinite wisdom and blah blah. It's like, no, I just want more money.
Yeah.
So
Or in this case, it's also like he might just be like, well, I just want to live forever. That's my whole shtick. And I figured a great way to do it that keeps me out of harm's way because people aren't coming for me.
Yeah.
Because people want money. I run the bank. I'm not an asshole. You know, I'm not evil. People just leave me alone mostly. And I just get to be the bank forever. So I get to live forever.
And every once in a while, a paladin will come find me and smite me to death, and then I just pop up again in some random coin in an account or in circulation somewhere.
Yeah, done. Perfect. All right. What's like for you?
Probably that.
All right.
Also,
It's funny whenever we have an episode that just like it goes out with like a weird whimper because it turns out everything we talked about doesn't matter. We got to the end and our frozen lasagna we liked more than anything else.
Yeah.
Moving on. Like this is what stuck.
yeah, they're both really. I like both of the options of every account has an extra coin, so there are thousands of phylacteries. But also having
Just one coin.
just
in the whole
one coin that's out there in circulation somewhere, Willy Wonka and the Golden Ticket style. You have no idea where it is. And that's a great hook of, you know, oh, I'm a warlock now because I was carrying a coin and then this lich showed up next to me because it was the phylactery. And suddenly it's like, hey, you got to help me rebuild my body. So I'm going to give you power to do that so that you can help me rebuild my body and now go forth and help me do this. That's actually fucking dope.
This is really good. It's just a really good idea, man.
Really good idea.
It's a really good idea. And if we play D&D again, I hope you're a fucking warlock and that we do this.
That's just great.
All right. Well, that's what stuck for us.
Let us know what stuck for you.
Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.